Yeah. So there's certain man, right? They're in jail and they can't accept responsibility for their actions. Mm. There's man in jail that think possibly the crimes that they've committed were all right. Mm. Like they blame the government that, oh, the system's locking me up and that. No, fam, you're locking yourself up, blood. Yeah. No one told you to pick up a gun and go and shoot that man. No one told you to pick up a knife. Oh, fam, my man's fam. You can't be putting man's names in the comment box, fam. But anyway, there's certain men out here, right? They think that, like, the police have locked them up or whatever, innit? Like, they can't accept responsibility for their actions. Mm. And when you're in jail and you talk to a man, they will make you feel sorry for them, Like, I used to talk to a guy, like my neighbor, right? Used to hang around with him, whatever, innit? Yeah. Him and some man were in another area, whatever, innit? He jumped out of the car and he killed someone. And he got like a 20-year sentence or something like that. And when he told me he had 20 years, I felt sorry for him because I'm only talking to him. He's all telling man stuff like, I'm going to get my bed sheet sent in by my mum and I'm just going to get settled in and ride this sentence. And I'm like, rah, like, he's still in prison now. When I got in, what, 2011? He ain't even given a release date. Me ain't coming out till 2040. 2030, fuck, my maths is to blood clot, yeah? Anyway, he made me feel sorry for him, like, oh, fuck, man. But what about the person's parents? What about the day the dead boy's parents received a knock at their door from the policeman? Policeman, take off the hat. What about the parents? How they feel? Imagine you're a parent, or imagine you got a sibling or something like that, and you get a knock at your door and it's a policeman and he said to you, are you a relative of such and such? Yes, I am. Well, what's the problem? Take off the hat. We found their dead body in a burning car. Or they found he was stabbed to death an hour ago and pronounced dead on the scene. There's man in jail for gun charges and that, and they actually believe that the reason why they're carrying guns around and they're shooting people is because the government put the guns on the street. Yeah, quote unquote, let's say that the government do put guns out on the street for people to shoot each other and kill each other. There's something called free will, You don't have to pick up a gun and kill no one, It's all an excuse. There's still people around to this day, like older people, so people who are like 47, 50 years old, so around killing each other. It's because Margaret Thatcher closed the community centres in the 70s/80s, whatever, innit? That's bullshit. How can fucking closing a building start people murdering people on the street? It's all an excuse. Yeah, you chose to, fam. You chose to. I take accountability for my actions. If I done something wrong, that was my fault. I ain't gonna blame no government. It was me that committed the crimes. You smoke drugs, you smoke crack. Ain't the government that made you smoke crack. You smoke crack because you're a crackhead. Yeah? You're taking drugs because you're a drug addict. Man doing horse tranquilizer. What the fuck's that about? But anyway, there's man in jail, right? You will forever go back to jail if you don't realize the person who put you in jail is the person in the fucking mirror. Yeah, junkies, yeah. You will forever keep going back to jail if you don't realize the person who put me in jail is me. The person who put me in jail is the person who I see in the mirror. It ain't the government that's the problem. It ain't white people that's the problem. It ain't even the people that you're hanging around with who's the problem. You are the problem because you put yourself with them. Until people can realize that, yo, they are their own worst enemy. Yeah, I do love talking about horse tranquilizer. Until people realize they are their worst enemy and they are the reason why they're failing, they're never going to get nowhere. They're never going to get nowhere. So, I don't know. No, there's man in jail, right, that are in jail for a long time for hanging around with the wrong crowd. There's man in jail that I've met, right, who they was just with man who pulled the trigger in a club, shot some people, and they've ended up getting 5-6 years joint enterprise. This is why you need to be careful who you hang around with. You know, I know, man, yeah, that I've been out to with the club, to the clubs with, and a man has said to me, "I ain't got my Rambo on me." Yeah, meaning he ain't got his knife on him. I'm like, "What do you mean you ain't got your knife on you? What, you carry a knife out to go to a club?" Yeah. That was the last time I went out with that person because there's a thing called joint enterprise. If I am with a man and he kills someone, I'm going down for it too. I don't know when this joint enterprise came into full effect, but I know it's been around for a good maybe 15 years or whatever, innit? Yeah. I started hearing about it when I was like 15. Yeah. So let's say 12 years for me, innit? Yeah. I know it's probably been around from before that, or whatever, innit? If you're with a man and he kills the next man, you are going down for murder as well. This person that I used to be in club with a couple of times, and I used to go to his house and pick him up. Obviously, I was driving, he's not driving. We might have been driving down the street. He might have saw someone he don't like. He might have jumped out of a car, chased the person down and stabbed them. It would look like we was riding out. You know, London's the most watched city in the world. There's cameras every fucking 2 meters. There would have been a camera on top of a lamppost. Seen my car, see him fly out of the car like I'm hooded monkey, chase someone down the street, stab them. Whether he ran back into my car or not, it don't matter, right? He could have ran somewhere else. They've seen my car. It looks like I'm driving him around to go and look for people to kill. And I would have been in jail. And then what happened? They look at my background. Oh, you look like you was a criminal back in the day. Yeah, definitely. We got the right people. There's plenty of men out here who are in jail for joint enterprise. Yeah. They're not even really that guilty, like you know, they didn't even have the intention of going out to do this crime or whatever. But you hang around with the wrong people, and you get caught up. So when I heard my man say to me, "Oh, I ain't got this weapon on me or whatever," and that was the last time we're going out. Because I'm not having a man stab no one and kill no one in my presence and I'm going to jail. No. No fucking way. Plenty of man like that. Plenty of man. There was one guy, right? I'll call him a sweet boy. He was nobody. He couldn't even call a person a street person. Couldn't even call a man a street person, right? Just a good youth, as we would call them on the road, yeah? But they started driving around certain men from certain areas. And some of the guys that were in the back of the car, they had a gun on them. And anyway, pulled the car over. My man stashed the gun threw the gun on the floor in the car, whatever. All of them got bagged and done for this gun. So the guy who was driving around, the man them, like, he's a sweet boy, he's a good youth, he's not a bad person, but he's hanging around with the wrong people. The people them are in the back, they're the bad people. Yeah? They've got a gun on them. And because they're known to the police for gang activity, it looks like the guys who were driving them around were driving them around with the intent of going to shoot someone because they had a gun in the back, and he gets charged as well. This is what happens when you hang around with the wrong people. Now, obviously, I know none of you lot are, bad people, nothing like that. But man, just trying to say, like, there's people out there, they're getting themselves into trouble, hanging around with the wrong people.